next one we have up is one of my personal favorites, week number 11. Talk to your family. Talk to your family. Now, maybe this one...
At least for those family members that will talk to you.
Well, that's right. That's a good point. I think this one came about because probably of my Italian nature. And now, I get together quite a bit with my family as an Italian. And we have quite a few members in our family. There's always lots of food. And there's always lots of wine. And when you're talking to your family, I want you to think about it. When you're talking to your family, what's the conversation about? Kids. Kids. School. Pets. Work. Travel. Vacations. Memories. Problems.
Kids.
Kids. Right, don't forget about the kids. But so many of us, unless you have a family-run business, so many of us don't really talk about our family, talk to our families in detail about what it is that we do. And even if we do that, we don't talk to them about how to find us business. Now, do we? Case in point, my own sister, just about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, the book was getting ready to come out and so forth, and I'm getting all excited. And we're talking at the dinner table about the book. My sister says to me, "Can you tell me again exactly what it is that you do? Because I have no idea." And I said to myself, that's why I put that in the book. Now I have to go back and read that again. So I'm explaining to her a little bit about it. But one of the things that I'd like to point out, think about this example. If you have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and 3 of them find you to be an amazing person, and 1 is still a little bit disgruntled about the comic book you stole when you were 10 years old, right? But you got those 3. And if the average between those 3, if they know about 200 to 300 people apiece, there in front of you, sitting at the dinner table, are behind them about 750 or so people in their network that you are not connected to. They know nothing about you. Why is that? Why do we stand in front of our family when they are often our biggest fans, and we sit there and we do not leverage those phenomenal relationships? That's one of the questions that we have in this book, and we believe that it can change like that. Case in point. I shared this particular strategy with a real estate agent just about a week ago. And I said to her the same thing. Why didn't you talk to your family about what it is that you do? She says, that's a good idea. So, she says within a week, she sat down with her mother and 2 sisters and had lunch. And she said to them, you know what? I know about 20 people that have bought or sold a house within the last year. I bet you know that many. And why didn't I get that listing? She said within 2 weeks she had 2 listings from her mother. There's a lot of money on the table, not just food and wine.
I'm still thinking about talking about kids. When my oldest was 17, she said to me, "Dad, you're not only not with it, you're not even near it."
That's good.
Okay, be a value-added friend.
Okay, we've got another one here from week number 15. Be a value-added friend. Now, what does that mean exactly? We think that means being a true asset to someone's life, not just to their business. We think that means getting to know that person beyond the business interactions. Having something to give to that relationship that is far beyond just work and just business. Because we know that the closer the relationship, if you actually do become friends, friends will do just about anything for each other. And the further that you push that relationship, the more it's going to be beneficial for everyone. Now, we also know that there's a great analogy in Southern California with the eucalyptus trees.
Yeah.
The eucalyptus trees.
Right, well, eucalyptus trees, first of all, talking about the weather, usually when there's the Santa Ana winds, they knock down the trees. Now, a lot of people think that LA doesn't have 4 seasons, but we do. We have earthquakes, fires, mudslides, and riots. We also have these Santa Ana winds that may knock down trees. When you see that on the news next time, news at 7, trees falling over in LA. Take a look at the trees. They're almost always eucalyptus trees. One of the reasons why the eucalyptus trees tend to fall over is that they have a root system which is very broad but not very deep. So it goes across the top of the soil, but it doesn't go deep into the soil. So in tough times, what happens? The trees are knocked over.
Trees are knocked over. One of the things that I did in my own personal network, I recognized that I had two particular people close to me that I wanted to develop a tighter friendship with. So I developed a bicycling team that we called ourselves the Six Amigos. We were a force to be reckoned with. We raised some money cycling for the Tour de Cure for the American Association for Diabetes. And we became such good friends that we actually started to go on vacation together, the six of us. And we would take our bikes, wherever we went, we would take our bikes. And one trip in particular was extra meaningful because we went to Canada, to Niagara-on-the-Lake, where they have a bicycling tour that goes from winery to winery to winery to winery. Now imagine how nice, straight and narrow we were going on those bicycles by the end. It was a fantastic trip, and it brought those six of us very, very close together, to the point of, at one point, one of those couples had their house sold before they built their next one, and they needed a place to live. They called me. It was then I knew that I had brought some true value to that relationship. And it's those kind of relationships. So we encourage you to ask not what your network can do for you, but ask what you can do for your network.